Hey, what is going on? Borderlands 4, Amon, all skill trees, it's here. And we're going to be taking a look at every single passive skill, active skills, the red, the blue, the green, which is the disaster, the revenge, and the neuromechanical. Yes, that is 3 different skill trees, and it's a whole lot that is in all these 3 different skill trees. So we're going to be taking a look at all of this along with its strength. Now, guys, have this in mind. This is from a Chinese footage. So everything that you see here has been translated from Chinese to English. So some things may not be accurate until the game is available or until I bring you more footage. So let's dive into this video, and a huge thank you to Brian Central. You can find his link to his channel in the description. Now, the first one we're going to be taking a look at is a diving force passive skill, and this is going to be the first level skill to increase Amon's shield recovery rate and movement speed for a period of time. You're able to see there the recovery rate, the movement speed, and also the stacking duration for 15 seconds. Along with that, you're also able to see there, which is not highlighted, of course, how many points you're going to be able to use in this first row of the skill tree for the driving force. Next, we got the burning heart passive skill. You're going to have actually 5 different levels that you're going to be able to unlock. We also have the chaos passive skills. Amon gains melee critical strike rate at a plus 5%. Once again, you have to raise this to 5 different levels to unlock the fullest of it. And then we have the heavy planter armor passive skill. Increase his armor maximum capacity, you guys are able to see there, by a lot, so that he's going to be very tanky once you are starting to use him. Now let's dive into the second level, and we got first the titanium alloy finger trigger passive skill. Increases its melee damage and skill damage plus 5 for the melee, and is going to give you a skill damage of plus 3%, giving you a lot of melee damage just on this single skill tree. And this, of course, guys, is a passive one. Then we got the thermal diffusion. This is a strength that you're going to be able to now. Again, this is a translated from Chinese to English. So strength may not be the accurate name, but that's what we're going to go with at this moment. Now, guys, if you are enjoying Borderlands 4 and you're very hyped for it, how about dropping a like just because you're hyped about Borderlands 4, which is going to come out on September. So Rocket Iron now has 2 modes: increase both radius and dealing bonus damage based on Amon's max armor. So having that max armor is going to give you that extra 20% on maximum shield capacity. Once again, this is going to be a very tanky character you're going to be able to use once the game releases. Then we got a punch to the stomach passive skill. Combat damage and weapon damage have a chance to inflict weaknesses on the enemy for a period of time. Able to see there the increase, the success rate, damage caused, the damage that the enemy is going to be able to take, damage that caused by enemies minus 40 is going to be taking you what duration of 8 seconds. So that is going to be a whole lot of time that this passive skill is going to be taking effect. Then we got the Pyroclastic strength. While on the attack, Amon fully regenerates his health and shield and is surrounded by Forge Storm, dealing burning status effect damage over time to the nearby enemies. Once again, take a look at the active skill duration. Forge Storm damage multiplier, crazy, 20% per kill, and you get a maximum damage multiplier 200%. I don't know, maybe those numbers will change once the game releases, because that looks pretty deadly right now, if you tell me. What do you guys think about that? Drop it in the comments, guys. What do you think about this strength? Good? I mean, so far, looks deadly. Now we got the Master of the Storm. Increases aim and status effect damage for duration. We got the Steel Forging passive skill. After aim is active for the Forging skill, he will temporarily immune to all damage for 6 freaking seconds. Damn, that's a whole lot of seconds. You can probably be like on God mode if you just keep doing that over and over. Then we got the Bullet Storm passive skill. When aiming applies a status effect, his gun damage increases for a period of time, +1 per layer, overall 10-second duration, maximum number of times, 5 different times you're going to be able to do that. We got the Impulse. When the armor causes gun damage, his active skill cooldown speed is increased for a period of time. We got the Strongest Defense passive skill that is going to be able to deal more melee damage. And look at that. Once again, super shield +3%. So giving you more defense. And you know what it is? You got more defense, the better the offense. Then we got Bloodthirsty. This passive skill, when Amon's shield is broken, he will gain health for a period of time, increasing his reload speed and also lifesteal. Then we got the Fallen Frost. When it's temporarily after a launching of the rocket, quick learning, y'all will increase the follow-up attack, causing a large area of freezing melee attack damage in a frost. And as you're able to see there, it's going to be with a less than 25% total health will be killed immediately. So anything that has 25% less health is done by just that single strength. So we're able to see there we got the frost and we have the fire, and when you put those together, boys, it becomes deadly. So far, let me know in the comments. Then we got the violent passive skill. When the armor activates as a forging skill, he will enter in a frenzy state of period of time, gaining not only immunity to that he's able to receive, but at the same time, his gun damage and melee damage will gain added frost damage. And you guys know with Borderlands, it's all about the weapon. So you're going to get different type of elemental type of damage weapons that you're going to be able to put everything together with all this 3 different skill tree. And this is just the red one right now, guys. This is just the disaster one, which is crazy, right? We got the only blood red passive skill. As you're able to see there, duration of the frenzy will periodically restore a bonus frost damage will be increased. Then we got the frost breaks. Now we are into the cryo damage and freeze. We go up another level in the elemental damage. Not only you're getting shield regeneration damage by +135, cooldown of 45 seconds. Insane. And that is only what? Level 0 of 3. And the passive skill for this one, nuts. Now we got the full energy. And you guys are able to see there, one thing I did want to tell you is that it says there, 0 requires of 5 branch points. Of course, those are the different skill points that you need. But in this case, you know, it's translated. So branch, think about skill points. Anyways, increase Amon's maximum health capacity. The higher its health, the more melee damage is going to be able to cause. These health capacity and also the melee damage +6 when full. So now we are entering into what's next. We got the Frost Blade. Ultimate talent. Forging Smash is now Frost Blade. Alt F, in this case, the keyboard, guys, to swing a massive forge of the axe, sending waves of forging that deals ice melee damage and freezes enemies as it passes through. That is crazy. 90-second cooldown, but look at that damage. That is 442 and also a detonation damage of 252. That is going to be a sick skill. Then we got the death touch. When aiming causes melee damage, there is a chance to activate the skill tree. And then we move on into the next strength. This is the pyroclastic. While on the attack, Amon fully regenerates his health and shields and surrounded by a Forge of Storm, dealing burning status effect damage over time to the nearby enemy. Take a look at the active skill duration, and you got the multiplier, which is crazy. Then we move into the middle skill tree, which is on the bottom, into battle. Passive skill. Amon's damage reduction will increase based on the distance from the enemy. Able to see there the damage and also the reduction. 14% at a closer range, which is crazy. Then we got the strength Forge of Nature. When launching an onslaught, dealing gun damage to an enemy will put them into a ready state for a period of time. When they die or they are damaged by the forging skill, they will explode, causing burning damage to any enemy that is nearby. This is a crazy skill because it does give you an advantage when especially you have a bunch of enemies all just together with each other. This is going to be really nice. Then we got Burned Barrier, passive skill. The higher Amon's shield value is, the higher his firing rate is going to take effect. Just look at that. Firing rate and also the status effect rate. And then we got the Clipping Blow, which is a gun critical hit. Have a chance to inflict weakness on enemies for a period of time, which is really good. See the damage, duration, and also the damage that the enemy is going to be able to take, which is a plus 20%. Then we got the rearm. One of the things that I do want you to guys take a look at is his arm. That is where his elemental damages are coming through in the different skill tree. And of course, the higher you have this upgraded, the different that arm is going to be able to deal that damage. In this case, passive skill. When armor uses melee attack to cause damage, some of his current gun's ammunition will be replenished. So pretty much you're going to have unlimited ammo just by using that rearm passive skill, which is already, I mean, it comes handy, I guess, when you need that. But whenever, look at that, 20% of ammo capacity, which is going to give you that, and that ammo refill, not bad. And then we got the Omen passive skill. Killing skill increases Amon's melee damage and also maximum shield capacity for a period of time. Melee damage, the maximum stack duration, 20 seconds, and you are able to use this 5 times. So crazy. Imagine that 20% on top of 5. Oof, that's 100% right there. We got Rushing Lava, ultimate talent. Forging Smash radius increases the store's damage after a delay. Fire breaks out of the feet for the 3 different enemies. Radius 33%, damage storage 40% damage dealt. Once again, guys, this has been translated, so it might not be that. Then we got the Deadly Flare, passive skill. When Amon kills a weakened enemy, the enemy will explode, inflicting burns to a nearby enemy. Look at that, another skill. And then we move on onto the skill tree that is on the bottom right to the right side. And we got the Catastrophe, which is when Amon applies electrical. Now we got electric shock, right? We had fire, we had frost. Now we got electricity. Damn, all 3 put together. This is crazy. It is critical hit rate increases for a period rate of time. When Amon inflicts burn on an enemy, the critical damage is also increased for a period of time. which not only, look at that, guys, it's going to give you a 1 layer on critical hit rate, critical hit damage, and is going to be for 12 seconds, which is going to stack up 3 different times. Crazy. And then we got the explosive first fist of rage. Once again, this is a strength using his fist. So when launching a fierce attack, the effect rate of Amon's is a status will be able to increase. As you're able to see there, again, this is going to cause a wave of lightning, dealing electrical melee damage to enemies. And it's also going to be able to pass through other enemies, which is crazy too, because not only that, you get a 30% status effect rate, 30%, but also a duration on that electricity. And then we got Dragon Breath passive skill. When Amon activates his cannon, his next gun bullet is converted into incendiary damage. Now we got incendiary, crazy. Staggering enemies damage and also increased damage dealt. Boss enemies cannot be staggered, but villain enemies, meaning minor bosses, have a chance to be staggered. 20% damage increase. Nice, nice, nice. So once again, talking about his left arm, which becomes a massive weapon by itself, as you guys are able to see there. And then the next one is the explosive Aegis. So as you're able to see there, we got some shield here that is going to give us some protection, effect, damage, duration, and also damage that is going to be able to output 8% when full. We got the Rock Fist. With this one is only cost damage of a certain percentage of the cooldown time for the forging skill restore, giving you a 2%, which is also not bad for that recovery. And we got a few more here. We got the trial passive skill, deals an increased melee damage to enemies with less than 50% total damage. And then we have a ultimate talent. Forging Smash is now Storm Guillotine. Hold F to swing your giant forged sword, sending a wave of forge to the enemies that is going to deal electrical melee damage to all the enemies that are in the pass through, meaning that all the enemies that are within that area. And of course, it's going to have its cooldown because this thing is very OP. And you also have forging wave damage. Look at that, 385 with a cooldown recovery of 20%, and it's give you a duration recovery of 20%. So if you're able to stack it up with different skills, you probably could bring that a lot faster. And you are able to use this nice ultimate talent, which is pretty deadly. As you're able to see there, the image itself showing you exactly what it does. So anything that passes through it is going to be receiving a lot of damage. All right, so now we move on to the blue. This is going to be the blue skill, which is the revenge. What do you guys think so far about Amos and his mighty left cannon? You got to say it's a cannon because that thing is massive. All those different type of elemental damage is just getting from that arm is crazy. Now, here we got Nature's Wrath, which is going to improve aiming status effect, application rate, and also freezing efficiency. You're able to see there the effect, inflicting rate, and also the freezing efficiency. Plus 5% on each. We got the Scorched Earth Heroes, or Kairos actually. We got the Real Excitement, which this is a passive skill, which is Amon gains health and also gives him the restoration on his health. You're able to see there the percentage, the duration, and also how many times you're able to layer that on top of that, which is a maximum of 20. That's a lot of time there. Then we got the Scar Tissue, increases Amon's maximum health capacity and also repair kit healing amount. And we got the Born to Fight. The higher Amon's health is, the more gun damage he gains. So once again, he is a very melee type of tanky player. He's really good for a lot of you guys. You love those type of player. I love those type of builds and those different type of characters. We got freeze beat when launching the whip. Amon will taunt the enemy and send him out freezing pulses to every second, causing freezing damage to enemies and also restoring his health and also the health to any ally that's with him. Bonus, you got some frost damage, which is pretty cool. There you're able to see there the HP restoration, the revenge range cost that is going to take, and also the bonus cold damage, which is going to be 30%, and also gives you, but it does give you a minus 50 movement speed whenever you are aiming, so be aware of that. It's going to make it a little slow when using that skill. Then we got Comet Hail. This one is you see there, frost damage. This one is mainly just about frost. I mean, it's blue, you could probably say, because of that. Increasing application rate 20%, damage 15%, duration 4 seconds, not bad. Then we got Crackling Chill. Forge Waves now consumes more vengeful revenge, explodes on impact, dealing area of effect. The freezing cannon damage is going to cost a revenge range of 10% or radius of plus 50%, but it is going to increase the blast radius, which is pretty good. Turno passive skill increases Amon's actives. We got the hail. Then we got hail bullets. Amon's bullets have a chance to ricochet as an element of echoes, causing frost damage. Chance percent is going to be 3. Damage 50% of damage dealt. Not bad, right? Pretty high. And then we got the next one. We're here, guys, on level 3 of the skill tree. As you're able to see there, on the blue one, we got this passive skill, mechanic killing skill. Amon restores a certain percentage of artillery cooldown time, which is plus 7%, giving you that nice increment. We got more cold damage for Ancient Way, and we got the Warrior Cup, which is the you're able to repair kit when launching an active skill. Duration active skill can be rapidly restored, and you're able to see there plus 6% on recovery, so that gives you an extra percentage. You're able to get back on the fight faster. Not bad. So let me know, drop it in the comments. What do you guys think so far? We got a passive skills, increase Amon's ricochet damage, burn damage, and also burn duration. It's all about the burning. Now we're going into a different zone, which is on the left side, bottom. You guys are able to see there, that passive skill requires, of course, 15 points. And then we got Fear Rebuke. And this one is going to be Forge Waves is now a Fierce Rebuke. So it's a higher, lot stronger strength that you guys are able to see there. Consumes the range and the hurl of your force shield to target enemy, dealing an increasingly cannon damage and also an impact. Fierce Rebuke also deals additional base damage. This is crazy. Force shield damage 188, bonus damage 1 for every 20% of the vengeance consumed. So there you go. That is why this one is an upgrade from the other one, as you guys are able to see there. Burning with Anger. This is killing skill, burning damage skill, and we're also moving into a where you're able to stack up not just the fire itself, guys, but also you're able to get that active skill cooldown rate, which is for a lot longer, and also stacks up for 5 different times, which is not bad, and it helps you with that reload speed, which is not bad as well. So we got a couple more skill trees here to go, and we're almost there. Will of Destroyer, we're able to see there, we move into the fire compatibility. Stacks creates a fire, and you're able to see there, dealing burning melee damage to all enemies that you guys are able to hit there, plus 54. And then we got Disco Inferno. This one here is when applies increasively an enemy hit rate fire will increase for a period of time. See there where you're able to get burn it, baby, burn it. That's what it says, right? With Borderlands language, which is pretty cool. Then we got the ballistic barrier. Amon gains super shield when dealing with that. And we got the ultimate talent, which is the firewall is now circular, dealing burning status effect damage an enemy within it. So if you catch him right within that, with this ultimate, it's going to cause a lot of damage. Look at that. You got frost, burn damage, projectile damage, and also you're able to get a 100% projectile speed, which is crazy. So, but it is going to cost you an additional, and you also need the whipping. So you're going to need not only the whipping, but also 10 points. So have that in mind. 10 skill points to be able to use this skill. So, but in return, you're going to cause a lot of damage. And then we got the cooling cloak. Kill restores some of the world's breakers cooldown, which is about 6 seconds. And it is going to take not only the Warlord breaker, but also 10 different skill points. Then we got the ice range. Kill uses freezing damage. When you kill an enemy, you will gain a layer of freezing adaptability for a period of time, which is going to be able to stack up. Able to see there, overlay is going to take about 30 extra seconds of duration, and you get a gun damage 1% per layer, and you're able to do this 5 different times. So that is going to be 5% additional damage. Right, here we go. Then we got the eternal winter, another strength, which is with the forge wave. To get able to see there, active skill duration recovery 2% firewall duration recovery 5, and giant forge wave damage 304. Able to stack that up 3 times. Then we got the north wind. This is going to be able to cause freezing damage. Low rate, of course, plus 4%. And we got the ice rage. Whenever you guys are using ice, you can become slow. Have that in mind. So, but at the same time, this thing is very powerful because if you will see there, Amon deals increased damage to frost enemies and bosses by 5%. I mean, 5% is a lot if you having that, if you're going against a tough boss. Then we got the primal surge. This is when Amon applies a static effect on enemy, there is going to be a chance that he's able to restore some of the shield and also the ammo itself. We got Winter Kiss. When he is able to use it, is going to consume corresponding numbers of frozen, which is going to be able to stack up. You're able to see there 7.5% of the damage that is going to be able to deal. Generates stacking echoes, and also is going to cause range frozen damage. So that is going to be a nice skill to be able to use from far away. We got the impact debris. Elemental echo has a chance to ricochet. So there you go. Then we got Glazer Mania, which is a ultimate talent. Alt F, it says string your forged steel whip, hitting nearby enemies. You guys see there, the logo itself, the icon, it just says everything. Hitting heavy enemies twice and deals frost damage, then slamming the ground, creating a frost rift that deals frost damage and also leaves behind a source of frost for a while. And that is going to be a 50-second cooldown. And look at that rift damage and that forged steel whip damage. 202 and 404. Crazy. Then we move on to the last one. We got the blackout. We got the storm spear that we able to see there. This one's going to be the forge wave. It's now a storm lance. You're able to see. Now we move on into the frost. As you're able to see there, forge spear damage 417%. revenge range 20%, and the detonation damage is going to be of 304 with a firearm critical hit damage multiplier of 50%, which is going to be for a 10-second. Crazy, right? Crazy, crazy. And we got the Thunder Fury passive skill, kill, kill. Whenever it says kill, kill, you're getting back life. Have that in mind, guys. Have that in mind. And you're going to be able to do this 1% per layer times 5% for additional 30 seconds. We got Trump Anvil. When Amon causes the active skill damage, he consumes 1 layer of electricity, adaptability, and also regenerates a forged thunderbolt to stack up per enemy, causing electrical damage. We got the smelting furnace. Drop it in the comment section below. What do you guys think so far about all these skill trees? Does it match to Borderlands 1 or 2, or does it match Borderlands 3? And also, what is your favorite Borderlands? Let me know. Drop it in the comments. Killing skill tree. Amon recovers a certain percentage of health. Strategies. This one is where he's able to use his hip fire, will increase his hit rate fire, and also reduce his gun control. Able to see there the plus 4% hip fire gun handling by minus 6%. So there's gonna be a lot of builds being put together here, guys. So make sure you turn on those notifications on and subscribe to the channel for even more Borderlands 4. We got the Anger of Descents from Heaven ultimate talent. Firewall is now Wrath of Heaven. So you're going to be able to summon a giant forged sword and also attack the target enemy, causing shockwave of electrical damage. Or is that fire? No, that is electrical damage to enemies nearby. And then we got the ultra high voltage elemental thunderbolt, now staggers enemies and consumes an additional stack of shock, adaptability to multiple enemies at the same time. It says there, danger, danger. It is a damage multiplier of 200, but it's going to cost a lot of points to be able to use that, but it's going to become deadly once you use it. So there you go. That is the blue. That is the revenge skill tree. What do you guys think so far? Drop it in the comments section. Now we move into the last one, which is going to be the Neuromechanical. And here we got, once again, it's almost the same amount of skill trees. Skill points that we need to unlock just about everything that you need to. And it's going to be the same passive amount of skill and also the all the skills that you guys need. Here we got the cast iron, improves his forging skill cooling rate. And then we got the next one, before the storm. Killing skill increases the elemental damage caused by Amons for a period of time. Elemental damage by 2% per layer, stack up, duration of 14 seconds for 3 different times. So this one is called the Before the Storm. We got the Executioner, increases his critical hit rate damage by 3%, double duration for 8 seconds. Speed up, passive skill, increases his reload speed by 5%, and also is going to be able to last for 12 seconds. So you're going to be quick and fast. Then we got the cerebral embotulism operation. While Amon's reloading, his gun bonus electrical damage for a period of time. You ever see there the bonus? And we got the endless war. This is a strength. Each layer of ready to fire increases his firearm damage taken by on the ready of the enemy. It says there. It doesn't make any sense, but I think it means that his fire rate increases. Also, guys, if you want to know more about Borderlands, check out this other video. It talks about 200 different Marcus bobbleheads, and also the reveal of the map itself by none other than the CEO of Borderlands, which is crazy. A lot of people are not happy that he was able to release that and you're able to see how many you are able to collect. For me personally, I wish that he would have not done that. It would have been a nice surprise. So we got Endless War, another strength. Each layer of fire will increase the firearm damage taken by a ready enemy. You see, this is crazy. Check out the firearm damage received, the cooldown for 2 seconds. And this is the Endless War. So drop it in the comments. What do you guys think? Which is the best skill tree from all the three that you're able to see here from the Amons? We got the Tempering Fire passive skill, Forging Drone skill. When Amon activates Forging skill, they spawn a Tomahawk Forging. That is when your Tomahawk pretty much just follows you along and kills anything that gets in the way. The damage is plus 12% duration of 20 seconds. You were able to do this, of course, causing burning damage. And then we got the that is the Tempering Firing. Then we got the Axe and Stone, another strength. After the enemy damages an enemy with his Forge Axe, his movement speed will increase for a period of time. You are able to see their movement speed by 40%. That's a lot. And another thing is, like, in regards to Borderlands 4, not only will you have gliding, you have movement speed, you're going to be able to jump. So you have different type of options to travel around. We got Destroy the Bionic Body. Passive skill increases Amon's Forging skill damage and detonation. We got the Billows. When he activates the Forging skill, his gun damage will increase for a period of time. You're able to see there 8 seconds gun damage plus 7%. Then we got the Twin Rages, and I bet you in regards to the axes, the ones that you have control of, and these are the drone type of deal, which is going to deal the frost melee damage. You got the Vital Organs kill skill. This is going to increase your gun critical hit rate for a period of time, 10 seconds. You got the Heart's Cold, this is going to increase your damage as well. We got the Raging Fire, which activates skill damage and also changes your critical hit damage as well. We got Burning Cold. Now we are here on the right side. Frost Axe applies freeze on impact. Flaming Axe will now pierce through enemies. So that's pretty cool. We got the Permafrost. This is a passive skill. Whenever Amon freezes an enemy, freezing hazard source will generate under the enemy's feet, causing freezing damage for a period of time. You're able to see there, plus 2% deal damage per second. We got next one, which is going to be the Wild Hearth, which one is increases the Amon status effect damage for the hazard source damage. Able to say there 8% for both. We got the Permafrost, Wild Heart, Freezing Burn, which is going to cause the firearms cause burning damage. The freezing damage is increased for a period of time. And you're able to see there cooldown damage, burn damage, and also duration damage. We got the reactive armor. And this one detonating restores some of the armor shields and cannon cooldown. And we got the ultimate talent, and this one is going to be the Double Blade. Now deals burning melee damage from the 2 directions with a larger radius, and also is going to leave a trail of firing, which is going to be flying closer to the ground, dealing burning damage over time. Look at that radius, 33%. Fire damage 81 per second, fire trail duration 5 seconds, and forging skill cooldown recovery of 10%. That is the Flaming Boomerang, and it does look like a boomerang. So maybe that is a very nice and accurate translation that we're able to see there. And then we got the Reverse explosion, be 10 skill points that you're going to be able to use. So when Amon causes forging damage, he will generate drone singularities for a period of time and 8 seconds and cooldown of 60 seconds. Now we move on to the bottom middle one. We got Tempered Lightning, forging drone skill. When Amon activates in his skill, it will spawn a sword forging drone. In this case, I think it is his axe that does this, and which will attack nearby enemies for a period of time, causing electrical shock, melee damage. This is going to be the sword smithing drone damage plus 9%, and it's going to be for 18-second duration for that drone itself just to be floating around, dealing a lot of damage. But I believe in the previous footage that we saw, it was an axe. It was axe that he uses a lot. We got the Blade Storm. This is a strength. When Amon will now be equipped with a forged sword with choice of fire and electricity effect. When enabled, a charges will consume a fire forged sword barrage. You're able to see there, we got burning damage, electrical damage, and if you press different type of control combination or keyboard combination, you get one or the other. Forged sword damage, detonation damage, and also you're able to use 3 uses per each one. There you go. And that does do a lot of damage, 222 and 242, which is not bad per stack, ready to go. So if you're able to stack it up, it multiplies on that. Then we got Blast Furnace. When he's able to forge his drones, critically strike the enemy and create a detonation, his damage increases for a period of time. As you're able to see there, the percentage that you're able to get, we got the Contempt Armor. This is a passive skill. He's able to gain super strong shield when dealing active skill damage. And then we got Lightning Rod, and in regards to this one is with Amon's gun bullets have a chance to generate elemental thunderbolt when they're critical hit. When you're able to do a critical hit, then you get the thunderbolt damage, causing electric shock damage. You're able to see there, it has a spawn rate of 25%, 30% of damage that you're able to deal with the thunderbolt, and it has a cooldown of 8 seconds. Not bad. And we got the gradually rise, and this one increases the attack speed, movement speed of the forged drones, because they do move slow. If you've seen footages, you know that they do move slow, so that's pretty cool. Sharpen the tip. Forging drones have a chance to critical strike, and you're able to see their active skill cooldown recovery, and also critical hit rate by 4%. So that is going to be how long you're going to be able to have that. And then, of course, we got the ultimate talent double edge is now Storm Zorge. Able to see there, it says holding F to throw a pair of twin forged blades that deal area of effect, which is electrical melee damage on impact. So twin forged blade deals a 540% damage. Duration we got there for a 16-second, cooldown 30, and of course 61 per second on the forge storm damage, which is pretty cool. Pretty good talent, gotta say that. And then we got noise passive skill. Now we are here on the last skill tree. And once again, guys, what do you guys feel about all these 3 different skill trees for Amos only? And that is one character. Okay, we're not even talking about weapons yet. We're not even talking about how to combine them, because the game's not out yet. But I'm sure, I'm sure 2K Borderlands team will hook us up. We'll bring you guys some early coverage in regards to Borderlands 4. So this one's going to be able to increase damage detonation radius, and we got the strength. Says Amon will now be equipped the Forge Hammer with a choice of frost or shocked effect. Enemies damaged by a forged hammer will be ready on the state of a period of time. When they die or the damage by the forging skill, they will explode, causing damage nearby enemies. We got frost, and we also have shock damage. You guys are able to see there. And forging hammer damage is 442. That is a lot for a strength. So can't wait to put this in effect, see how it is. Now we got Tempering Ice passive skill, Forge Drone skill. When Amon activates his artillery, he will spawn a hammer forged drone that will attack nearby enemies for a period of time, dealing freezing melee damage. Able to see their duration cooldown and also the drone damage. Not that bad, right? 70%. I mean, it's not bad. 17. I mean, it's actually really bad. 17% is nothing. But that's plus 17. So, Masterpiece increases his damage and duration for the drone. There you go. We got another percentage. Now we're talking about, now we're cooking something different. And then we got the Masterpiece passive skill. And we are almost towards the end, guys. Endless bombing. We also have this one here. Grenade return plus 6%. Heavy weapons. We have 6%. And that is the endless bombing. And you're able to see their grenade returns and the heavy weapon damage as well. Then we got the excited. That's what's called. And when dealing artillery damage in a rate of fire is going to be able to increase for a period of time. You will see there 2% per layer, 3 layers, stack duration 12%. Multiply that. That's going to be about 36%, guys. Did that right off the bat there. No hammer, ultimate talent, the double edge blade is now a hammer for snow white. That is hard to read, but we were able to do that. So this is going to throw a twin forge hammer, dealing freezing melee damage nearby enemies. You guys are able to see there. Twin forge damage 350, and you got a cooldown of 30 seconds. And you're going to be able to do this 3 times between nearby enemies. So that's pretty cool. So it's going to hit one enemy if they're close by. It's going to deal a lot more damage. Not bad of the ultimate talent to be able to use when you are fighting different enemies. It's going to come out very, very handy, especially when you're using it at that time. Then we got the require. This one is going to be, this is crazy right here. Hammer of Destiny. This is just level 1. Hammer forged drones can now deal artillery damage in addition to their original damage type, and also have a chance to trigger explosion when damaging an enemy, causing a range freezing damage, and it's going to be a detonation rate of 25%. So that can come handy any second whenever you guys are using it. Kicks in at that 25% rate, right? And then we have the last one, I believe so. And then we're going to be finishing off all our 3 different skill trees that Amos has, and he is pretty stacked up. So there you go. Those are the 3 skill trees that Amos has. Drop it in the comment section below. Which is your favorite? What do you think so far about Amos? Do you feel that this is going to be the type of character that you're going to be able to play as, or do you want to see more? If you want to see more, stay tuned. Hit the like, subscribe to the channel, because I will be bringing to you even more coverage this month, next month, and on release date. We'll see you guys on the next video.